he's ranked our greatest minds, 1096. But not only to direct these fabulous films, I don't even know which one to pick as the best, but he spent something like 3 decades trying to make the first English version of Goethe's Lective Affinities. So that's about all I can say on that. Gene Wales, he's probably ranked a little too high, but he's the guy who pushed out Wikipedia. Edward Wilson, he's the guy who wrote Sociobiology, 75. It's kind of famous. Lily Wachowski and Lena Wachowski, they're ranked in there because they produced The Matrix. You see, there's only one constant, one universal. It is the only real truth, causality. Action, reaction, cause, and effect. What is real? How do you define real? If you're talking about what you can feel, what you can smell, what you can taste, then real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain. So supposedly the Wachowskis wrote this, and it is one of the top philosophical films. And as far as I've known, as a moving bound state, atomic geometry on the planet, The Matrix and Star Wars are the only 2 films that I know of that people have bragged about seeing 9 to 12 times in the theater in the last, since the 70s, of all time films. Jeremy Adler, he's the guy who he does PhD dissertation on Goethe's Lective Affinities in terms of, he found out which chemists he cited to write this book. There's George Lucas. The energy of the force surrounds and binds us. Luminous beings we are, not this crude matter. So there's Star Wars. So he's digging us out of all this Bible, believing philosophy that most of America is stuck in, kind of moving us forward in terms of believing in energy, force, and chemical bonds in relation to matter. Alfred Rogers, we've talked about him a lot. He started the website lifedoesnotexist.com. We already did a video on him. James Watson co-discovered DNA. Peter Higgs, he was number 5 at the 2014 ranking. Predicted the Higgs boson. Where's the big? We did a whole, I flew out to Pakistan, interviewed him. So you can watch that on YouTube. He wrote this New Dimensions in Sociology in 1987, which explains society in terms of physical chemistry, which is what Goethe did in 1809, only modern version. Arata, we talked about him a lot. He was cited with an IQ of 225 at 16. At age 13, he became the youngest ever medalist at the International Physics Olympiad. Then he went to Caltech, worked with NASA, graduated in Princeton. Yeah, but the interesting part about him is that when he was 18, he wrote this whole thing here, The Physics of Relationships, Thermochemical Approach to Relationships, Complex Equilibria of Men and Women. So his mind at 18 is the way we need to be seeing things in the future. Georgy Gladchev, we've had a lot of videos on him, but he's the author of Thermodynamic Theory of the Evolution of Living Beings. He is one of the first people to talk about evolution in terms of what the full combined law of thermodynamics. Hardly anybody talks about it. There's basically nobody who's been able to even put this full equation into paper, except for him. One of the downfalls, we had a falling out. He flew out to Russia to meet me twice. He even sent my human chemistry textbook to the Nobel Prize Committee. But we had a big falling out in 2009 to 2012, because I kept probing him on where in the chain of chemical reaction mechanism between hydrogen, the formation of hydrogen and the formation of the human, does life start? What day, what second, and when did this start? And I kept pushing on him, and he I guess he is part of the old generation, is what Planck, I guess, said. The old generation has to cease to exist before the new generation comes forward, but he would not recant about the life does not exist, so we had a falling out. And then Stephen Weinberg, he wrote the first 3 minutes. He's ranked up pretty high. Becker went 60. He's on 3 lists. And 2014 he was number 4. 2016 he was number 2. And now he's moved up from number 2 to number 1. So there we are, Stephen Weinberg. So that's our list. Hope you enjoyed things. See you for 66 AE, if you're keeping speed, or 66 after elements, or 2021 if you want to believe or date yourself in terms of mythology. Either way, Happy New Year. Done.